welcome to Feldia, F-E-L-D-I-A. So today we're going to be telling one or two story times depending on how long the first one takes. So this first one is about how I cheated on my math test. This was senior year of high school. We were all applying to colleges, and colleges wanted you to kind of take, like the math test to see where they would place you. So when I was taking my math test for this college, I didn't take it seriously because I didn't think it was serious. I figured like whatever, I can do as bad as I want, and like I'll still get into the class that I need to take for my major because there's only one math class I need to take. I didn't really try. I got bored like after the first half of the math test and just started guessing because I figured it wasn't a big deal. It ended up being a big deal, and I scored really low and like would have had to take like remedial math, and I was like, fuck this, I'm not taking
it. Would have required you to take like 3 math classes to get to the math class you needed to actually take.
And it was a low math class that I needed to take. So it was like fantastic. Like, okay, well I'm gonna retake the test because they let you do that. But when it comes to retaking the test, they then want you to have a webcam and they want to be like watching you while you're taking the test.
It's like a live proctored test, like someone is watching you take it to make sure you're not cheating.
Exactly.
Little do they know.
So I had to take this math test. I'm like, I can't, like, I know I'm not going to score very high. Like, I'm not great at math. So Teddy came up with this whole idea where she would actually be sitting at the table with me, like just, beyond where the camera could see. And she would have a separate monitor hooked up to my computer. She would have a separate mouse hooked up to my computer. And a separate keyboard hooked up to my computer.
Like, this is really diabolical when you get down to think about it, like how much planning and effort went into cheating on this test.
And like honestly, it was a genius idea. Like Teddy's a genius, but
if only I could use my powers for good rather than evil.
So we had that all set up, and Teddy was just gonna be taking the math test for me while I just like kind of clicked around, like sometimes typed and like wrote down things to like make it look like I was doing something. But really, Teddy was taking the test for me. So,
little known fact, I'm actually pretty good at math. I was really good at math. Or get her placed into the class she actually needed. So I was totally okay with doing it because I like math.
So we set everything up. I was on my side of the table. She was on her side of the table with everything. I got online and like talked to the person that I was taking the math test for. I needed to show her everything that I had. I needed to show her all the papers I had, make sure they were blank. I needed to show her then around the room to make sure no one else was there.
Which we didn't know ahead of time that this was going to be happening. We didn't know if we had to like do like a 360 of the room.
So as soon as she said that, Teddy just starts grabbing everything and like putting on the chair below her so that she wouldn't be on the tabletop. She runs into the other room to hide.
No, I hid under the table.
Okay, Teddy hid under the table with all the other stuff, and as I slowly put it around that room, and she's like, okay, perfect. And then Teddy like sets everything back up, and we start cheating on my math test.
It took a while. It wasn't a long test. It wasn't even a full. Yeah. Like you were sitting there like faking this test for a while. Like it was probably a good 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Like you were just sitting there like,
Yeah, so it was really hard for me to just like sit there because like they could also kind of see my paper and shit, so I'm like just start writing down honestly the like problems but like not solving them. And like I had to try to click whenever Teddy was clicking and like try to like type whenever Teddy was typing, and it was honestly
cheating would be that hard.
And honestly, like if the person was actually paying attention after the point of checking the room, they would have noticed that everything seemed kind of off with like the way I was like taking the test, how I wasn't really doing anything as it was showing on the screen. So it would have been pretty easy to realize like she's not taking this test, someone else is taking this test.
Like I don't think that anyone else had probably ever done what we had done, so I don't think they even like knew to look out for those signs.
I don't know, and Teddy ended up testing me into a way higher math class than I was ready for. So I actually did end up signing up for the class that I needed, only to realize like I should have taken remedial math. And I had to drop the class mid-semester because I had like a D or an F in it. I'm like, I'm not finishing this semester with an F. Goodbye, class.
So that's the story of how we collectively cheated on Stephanie's math test, and You know what? I still think it was brilliant. Like, everyone who ever told
brilliant.
that story to has just been like, what? Why? Like, why would you even do that?
To help out a friend.
I didn't want Stephanie
You
stuck in
didn't want-
remedial math.
Yeah, I
Even
didn't
if
want
she needed to be there. Who knows?
I probably did. I probably would have gotten an A in that class. Maybe I should have taken that.
I don't even know what it counted for credit.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that class didn't. That's the reason I was like, I can't take this class, because it didn't count for credit. It was just a class you had to take math.
You have to prove that you can do basic addition before they'll let you take algebra 1 2.
Basically.
Okay. So for our second story time, and this is actually a pretty fun one. This would have been senior year?
Junior year.
Junior year. Okay, so it would have been our junior year of high school. Stephanie was taking online classes, like she was doing online high school, so she wasn't actually at school. But one day, I don't even know why, but she decided to randomly come like eat lunch with us at school. So while she's eating lunch, we got the bright idea that I want to go home. I don't want to be here the rest of the day. So Stephanie decided to call into the school pretending to be my mom so she could give her verbal permission for me to leave, essentially like signing me out of class. But I think like the ladies in the office were kind of onto us a little bit early.
She asked me, because I was pretending to be Teddy's mom, trying to sign her out of school, and in order to like verify that I was who I said I was, she asked me to name someone else that would be able to sign Teddy out, like they would be on the list to sign her out. And I knew, of course, that her dad would be on the list to sign her out. So I said, yeah, her dad would be on the list, or something stupid. And she was like, can you name them? I'm like, Jackson.
My last name is actually Jackson.
And I couldn't think of anything else. I didn't remember her dad's name, so I just said Jackson, and then I hung up the phone.
As soon as she said that, we got to me started laughing. I don't even know. Like, I was just like, oh my god, hang up. Like, we started laughing and panicking at the same time. I thought I was gonna get in trouble for like trying to basically ditch school. What literally what I was trying to do was ditch school, but nothing ever came of it. I think they actually called my mom to like be like, hey, your daughter's trying to sign herself out of school essentially, and she just didn't care. I never got in trouble or anything for my mom or the school. She was just, I think, just kind of laughed it off about how absurd the situation was. So to this day, I still call my dad Jack Jackson. I don't, but
No, I don't.
But every time we tell that story, we just laugh. It's like Jackson. If I ever have a child and I don't change my last name, I'm going to name them Jack, so I can be like Jack Jackson.
And middle name Jackson.
No, his first name will be Jack, his middle name will be Son, and his last will be Jackson. So it'll be Jackson. I hope I never have kids for their sake.
Okay, because I hate 2 and I prefer 3, we're going to tell one more story and see if it makes it into the video. So this takes place back in high school again. So this was senior year. I was Sailor Mars. Teddy was my last year's costume, Care Bear, but it worked for her.
Literally every year, I would just be Stephanie's costume from the previous year.
Pretty much.
You know, real kid things.
So we kind of hung out a little bit. We didn't go trick or treat because we're too old for that, but we're not old enough for costumes. So we hung out with my boyfriend and a couple of friends, and we were all just kind of chilling. At some point in the night, I decided that I wanted to go home and sleep. Teddy was supposed to be staying the night at my house, but she wanted to go to a Mormon party, just to, like, you know, Mormon out.
I'm not Mormon.
She just wanted to chill with the Mormons.
I didn't want to go home yet. I think it was mostly like the big thing.
Yeah.
Like there was one of the Mormon people was having a large party and everyone was invited and everybody was going, so I was kind of tagging along when Stephanie went home.
Yeah. So I went to sleep pretty early after that, and Teddy didn't quite make it home by like the time that her mother was freaking out, wondering where her daughter was.
I think it was midnight. I was supposed to be home by like 11 or midnight. I didn't make it home, so I didn't have a ride. Oh, okay, I don't even know if this works. I didn't have a ride home because, like, the person who was supposed to give me a ride home just kind of flaked on me, and I don't even know if they were there at that point. And I tried calling my dad to have him come pick me up and take me home, but, like, when I call my dad, he's flat out wasted. Like, he is drunk as shit when I, like, call him, and I'm like, Dad, can you come get me? He's like, like, in the phone, like, just drunk as shit. I'm like, okay, Dad can't come get me. I don't want to call my mom and admit that I'm at a party, because, like, if you guys, like, my mom was at the time, she's loosened up a lot, but she was very, like, overbearing, very controlling, very like terrified to let me live my life. And so if she had known that I was at a party, she would have lost her goddamn mind. Granted, this is a Mormon party. There were both adults supervising and like no alcohol. It was just a bunch of teenagers hanging out at a house. But like even that would have been too much for my mom. So like I was terrified, like I'm gonna be grounded, I'm screwed, like my dad can't come get me, I don't want to call my mom. So rewinding back to Stephanie's part.
So basically, in the middle of the night, her mom showed up at my house because she had been calling me numerous times, but I was asleep.
I think my phone was dead too.
Yeah, probably. So I was asleep, so she showed up at my house, rang the doorbell, my dad woke up, he came to my room, and he's like, hey, is Teddy here? And I'm like, no. I was like, she went to a party. And honestly, that's what I mostly remember from that. I don't remember her mom like staying around for too long. She was just kind of checking to see if she was there. She was very freaked out. And then I'm sure she just left after she realized that Teddy was not there, and then I could not get a hold of her either.
Yeah, I eventually did make it back home. Probably, it wasn't even like that late, but it was like later than I was supposed to be out. And like my mom freaked out. And I mean, I think I got grounded again, but basically like from the time I was like 12 to 18, I was perpetually grounded. Like I was always grounded, so it was just kind of like another like, okay, I'm grounded again, cool, like no biggie. I'm still going to go over to Stephanie's house every day because that's what I do.
Pretty much. Or I just would just come over there because I was not included in the grounding. I could just come over and hang out.
Yeah, for some reason, like even when I was grounded, like my mom loved Stephanie so much, I could pretty much do whatever the fuck I wanted with Stephanie. Like, she'd be like, you're grounded. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Stephanie's house. Okay. No biggie.
Pretty much.
So those were our 3 stories for today. You know, you learned a little bit more about us and the wild times that we had in high school. So we cheated on our math test. We tried to ditch school. We went to parties we're supposed to be going to.
Mormon parties.
With no alcohol.
Honestly, like, we seem like really tame kids.
Right, as to how much, like, trouble I was always in with my mother, I was honestly a pretty good kid. I didn't do that many horrible things until, like, later on in my life.
Well, I mean, there was that one house we went to all the time and smoked weed. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please like this video and go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe, and if you'd like to, you can hit that notification. It'll let you know every time we upload, which will be every Tuesday, but you don't know what time on Tuesday, so notifications.
Alright, there's only 24 hours in a day. You have to figure out which one it's going to be.
Alright, so thanks, and get the fuck out!